All right, what's up, guys? VV back with another video, and in today's video, guys, we're going to be continuing with the building on a budget series that I had planned. Yesterday we did Red Purple Law. I'll link that in the comment section below. Today we're doing Mono Black OP-07 Lucci. Tomorrow we'll be doing Jewelry Bonnie, and then on the next day we'll be doing Katakuri. Okay, so we kind of got things lined up for the next few days here. These building on a budget videos are definitely more geared towards the newer players. However, I am going to have something in here for everybody. We're going to have games on the sim. You know, we're going to do an art critique. We're going to have a little bit of something for everybody in here, guys. But let me not get too far ahead of myself. Excuse me. Building on a budget. What does that mean? For me, personally, when I say building on a budget, I'm referring to building a deck for under $100. Now, I understand some people might have a stricter budget than that. But hey, if there's something like if you really want to build this deck and you have an extremely strict budget, just say something in the comment section below and I'll answer it as soon as I can. Or hop on the Discord, right? That's another great way to get in contact with me and other deck builders. We're always on there doing deck theory crafting and things like that. So, with that in mind, today's video will be primarily focused on Lucci, okay? Building OP-07 Lucci on a budget. And I have to say, guys, part of building on a budget is like thinking long-term as well, right? Like, okay, this deck's going to be good right now, but will it be good in a month or two? Will it be good in a set, right? Or in the next set? And the answer, I think, is yes. We're going to be looking at some OP-07 deck lists and some OP-08 deck lists that are doing very, very well. Okay, so this is a very, very solid deck to choose if you're trying to build on a budget, if you're a new player in the game, or if you're someone who plays a different color. Like, say you play a lot of red right now. Like, if your favorite color in the game is red currently, well, there's not a whole lot to play in that color, unfortunately, and maybe you want to try out a black deck. Okay, well, in that case, this video is going to be perfect for you to be able to build something on a budget to play at your locals just for fun until red picks back up, which, guys, I think in OP-09, I think red's going to be doing pretty good. I could be wrong. We'll have to see what happens. All right, anyway, let me give you guys a quick layout for the whole video, tell you what we're going to be getting into, and I will have everything time-stamped in the general description, so you can just hop and skip to wherever you want to, or wherever sounds interesting to you. So first up, we are going to hop over to the lab and check out a community submitted video. I'm talking too fast today, guys, but we're going to be checking out a video of Foxy versus Red Purple Law. That should be pretty spicy. Okay. Then we're going to hop over to OnePieceTopDecks.com. We're going to be checking out how Lucci is doing. So, you know, back to the main focus of the video, how Lucci's doing in the West and the East. We'll look at that, and from there we will segue over to, you know, Limitless TCG, and we'll kind of like combine those two areas and show how, like, okay, the deck's doing very well, see? And here's what it costs. But then from there I'll show you the budget version we're going to be playing in today's games on the sim. That will go into the games on the sim. I've got 4 games lined up for us today, and then we will break down the deck at the very end and analyze it and check all that stuff out, and then we'll wrap up the whole video with an art critique. So, guys, we got a little bit of something here for everybody, hopefully. Let's go ahead and get into this. So, first things first, like I said, guys, we have to check out this game submitted from the community. Whoops, let me go black screen for a second here, get it set up. Now, this one I probably didn't need to black out because this person is they're actually a young content creator. Their name is KahnTCG, KahnTCG. And I will link their stuff down in the comment section below. They're just starting off. Really cool person. I know them. They're on my Discord server. And the very fun personality type this guy has, Kahn. Really cool guy. But yeah, like I said, I will link his stuff in the comment section below. Now, let's check out this game he has for us, that he's got prepared for us here. We've got Foxy versus Red Purple Law. Let me make sure. So the volume is off. The speed is on 2x. Quality's up high. Let's do this, guys. Here we go. Let's see. So I have not seen this game. Red Purple Law is going to go first. They're going to go Dawn and pass. Okay, they did not play out a Gordon. Maybe they didn't have a Gordon or a Raise Max. But I think against Foxy Pirates, it's completely fine to play out a, you know, one of the one-cost minus 3,000 power characters. Excuse me. Now, Foxy Pirates has no play either. What does he have? The Ito Mimizu guy, he is a 3-cost. That's right. I have not played Foxy Pirates in a little while now. It's probably been about a month. But yeah, the Ito Mimizu is a 3-cost, and that is a nice card to start ramping up some Dawn. Okay, so now we're back to the Law player. He's going to swing for 5 in this situation. He has not used any Dawn. He's not swinging for 6, 7, or 8. So he's definitely telegraphing he has a 3 Dawn play, right? He's using the proper sequencing where he swings first, not giving any information to the opponent other than the fact that he has 3 Dawn open. Let's see what happens. Okay, well, very nice. I was going to say I probably would have countered out of that just because it's such an easy counter this early in the game. And we know red-purple Law gets stronger and stronger as you lose more and more life. When you get down to 2 life, the Kidding Killer is like one of the highest value cards in the game at that point. It's a 4-cost 7k rusher. But taking 1 life going down to 4, I definitely get that. And hey, never punished. It looks like we got a trigger here. Let's see, Ragnarok, that ramps to Dawn. Yeah, so very nice. So that ended up paying off very well. Plays out a Shariah. Okay, and typically what you'll see in this kind of matchup is Shariah, and then, or excuse me, in OP-08 you'll see play out Pudding, you know, return 3 Dawn, cheat out the 4-cost, what's his name, Shashi and Penguin, and then you'll get straight back to 3 Dawn, producing 2 bodies. But I don't know what set this is from, if this is only OP-07 and before or not. But, okay, they played out a Shariah. That's still a very good card. Okay, play out the Porsche. This is going to be able to grab a Foxy Pirates character and then play out a character that has 4,000 power or less from hand. Okay, in this case, it's Ida Mimizu, gonna ramp a Dawn, and we're coming in for 7. Shariah says, okay, I can block that for a 1k counter, but they choose not to. They choose not to block with Shariah and do a 1k counter there. Okay, let's see what happens next. That Ida Mimizu card is like the gas to this deck, in my personal opinion. The way it ramps Dawn, it's just so good. Okay, pause. So there were 2 options. I don't know what all is in our opponent's hand. I don't know what all is in the red-purple Law player's hand. But I would have considered that only a good play. Let's bust out the old... We got to bust out the chess accuracy meter. Okay. I would consider what we just saw there only a good play as opposed to an excellent play. Removing the... So let me say this. Porsche is not exactly a threat. Do you understand what I'm saying? Porsche is not exactly a threat. But that Ida Mimizu being able to ramp Dawn every single turn and potentially turning on your leader's effect and like being able to offset and mitigate all of the stuff going on there, I feel like removing that card was for sure the better play. And then you can also save your Trafalgar Law for later, for a bigger, better target like what we see in the hand here. You know, wink, wink. There's a card we see in the Foxy player's hand that I would much, much rather hit with something like Trafalgar Law. You know what I mean? Like, for example, I'm talking about Foxy, of course. That's a 7,000 power character. So it's going to cost you 2 forms of power reduction unless you're running, what's it called, Fire Fist. So that's just, in my personal opinion, that was still a good play because he removed a 5,000 power body off the board. But it could have been an excellent play or a great play or something by removing the Ida Mimizu. Okay? So now let's see what happens. They're gonna swing for 5 with Shariah. Wow, that's very interesting. Good counter out of that because you know another 6 is going to be coming in here with the leader. That was very nice, getting the 2k counters full value for the most part either way. And right here, swinging for 5. So actually, I do want to mention that real quick. Let's go back. So looking at the board here, he's swinging for 5 and he only has 1 Dawn active. If you planned on taking one of these hits, I would wait for the 6k one just to see what you get from life. Because let's see what happens here. So he swings for 5, and we 2k counter out of this one, but we know they're going to swing for 6 with leader that we could have got the 2k counter out of. And if you took that one, it got you the Ida Mimizu. It would have just made like a for sure, you know, full clarity on what you should counter out with, which was still the X.Drake. So it ended up not really mattering that much in the end. So good stuff there. Excuse me. Okay, so now, Foxy. So hopefully, did that make sense, guys? Hopefully that made sense. If not, just say something in the comment section below. What I'm trying to say is if you know there's 2 attacks coming through and you can counter out of either one of them, you should take the first one to see if you get something better to counter out with the second one. You see what I'm saying? Because you take that life and now you have 2 different options. Okay, now, Foxy Pirates' turn, and we're on 7 Dawn this turn. We're going to swing 5 into 5. I love this. Go into the board. That is the correct call here. Very nice. We are ramping right now. We are all the way up to, what is that, 9 Dawn? I think we're up to 9 Dawn now from the Ida Mimizu and the Foxy character. And now all of your opponent's characters will have minus 1,000 power on, you know, on their turn. So really good stuff there. Excuse me. So now he has to commit 1 extra Dawn to every single attack other than his leader. Okay, so here we go, and they play out the So minus 3,000 power to the Foxy with it was Raise Max or Gordon, I don't remember. Minus 2,000 more with the Otama, and they're going to bottom deck that after this. Okay, so good stuff. Swing for 5. That was a 1 Dawn investment. Sure, let's get out of that. Especially since, hey, countering out with the Idamamizu is perfect since they're not even going to use it. They're not even going to remove it anyway. Okay, so here we go. 5 more. So that was still a pretty solid turn. I wonder how Shariah reacts with this. Okay, they bottom deck it. Okay, so let's talk about, bust out the chess accuracy meter. So what we just saw there was definitely a blunder. Like an absolute blunder. I don't think there's any other way around saying it. Let's go back. Okay, so the red-purple law player, excuse me, the red-purple law player right here is going to play out a Gordon to minus 3,000 to the Foxy, right? Okay. Otama, minus 2,000 more. So now we can bottom deck it with our leader's effect. So in this situation, what should have been done, in my personal opinion, is not that. Attach 1 Dawn to the leader, to red-purple law the leader, and swing for 6 because that card is not affected by Foxy. Then 3 Dawn has been committed, right? You can then return the 3 Dawn to bottom deck the Foxy, and then you get to swing everything like normal. Because look what he did here. He did 1 Dawn here to attach and swing 5 into the leader when he's going to remove the Foxy anyway and put all of his characters back plus 1,000. Do y'all see what I'm saying? Okay, yep, plus 1,000 there, swing with leader. It's just that could have been a lot more devastating of a turn. Then they're going to return 3 after all that to play out the next Raise You to draw some cards. Again, the way that I would have done that is do the minus 5,000 like they did, swing for 6 with the leader, so that way 3 Dawn has been all used up, and then after you've used up the 3 Dawn, or excuse me, after you've done all that, you can return the 3 Dawn, cheat out the, first bottom deck the Foxy to give all your characters plus 1,000, right? And then play out the Raise You to draw some cards, and then you can do all your swinging from there. That was a little bit sloppy from the opponent, for sure. A little bit sloppy there. Okay, and maybe it wouldn't have mattered too much. Well, let me see. No, it would have mattered. It definitely would have mattered, because that would have been a 6k attack. It would have at least been that much more. It would have been 1k more attack. Okay, and then they did that, and okay, we get the pickle from that, and now they bottom deck it, playing out the Raise You, and now it's going to go back to the red-purple, excuse me, to the Foxy's turn. They swing for 5 with the Shariah. Okay, now, back to Foxy's turn. Plays out another, very nice. Okay, this is the nice thing about the Geno 2K counter, is it is super cheap, where now you can play it out, and you have 3 Foxy Pirates type characters on the board. So now, it's time to start locking the board down. I don't know who is going to be, who, you know, Khan chooses here, the Foxy player chooses to lock down, but if I had to guess, it's going to be Shariah and the leader. Those are the 2 that I would pick. Let's see what happens here. I'm sure he'll pick the same. Okay, I have faith in you. Okay, swing 5 into there. Use card action, -3. Boom. Thank you. Okay, you scared me, Khan. You scared me. Let me also move this chess accuracy meter. Very good. That was the best move there in that situation. Excellent. Probably could have swung for 2 more to a target. That was the one blunder, actually. Let's go. So, okay. Since we had 2 Dawn extra, we should have swung 7 into the 4-cost law there. Then he probably would not have saved it. He did a 1k counter. He could have still saved it, but that was definitely something to be, you know, to be careful of in the future. Yeah, and you see him like messing with his Dawn. He's definitely saying I should have swung 7 there. Absolutely should have. But that's okay. You absolutely should have swung 7, but it's not the end of the world, that's for sure. Because everything across the board is minus 1,000 now, which is very good for the Foxy player. But let's see what happens. I have no idea who wins this game, guys. Like I did, you know. This is not me playing. Let me make sure that I did put the speed on 2x, right? Yeah. Okay. This is not me playing, so I have no idea who wins this game. I have not seen it beforehand. 2k counter out of the 5k, and they're probably just going to do that straight through. Just all 5s here. Yep, 5, and probably 5 more from the Raise You. Okay. And then they should just pass. So here's what I'm going to say. If they do a Dawn -3, it is a mistake. So that was just strictly a mistake. I don't know why. Oh, okay, and that's what they chose to do. So the red-purple law player, I have to say, maybe they're learning the deck or something. You never know. That's the best part. The best part about the sim is it's a great place. Let me pause this. It is a great place for you to learn how to play the game. It is a great place for you to learn how to play the game. However, that was not the greatest play to do. going down, they're at 0 Dawn now. So now Foxy actually has a chance to completely come back here. When what looked like a game there was no chance they could win, I actually think they're probably favored to win at this point, to be completely honest. Okay, and let's see what happens here. So, okay, he definitely drew the Foxy for the turn, right? Or from the, okay, good. He drew that from the Queen. In this situation, I would have probably kept the Ida Mamizu. Well, no, you're already at, never mind. Yeah, keep the 2K counter, keep the 0 cost 3K. We really need to get that, that Foxy down, that's for sure. Okay, now just start eating up the board. Just smash into this board. Because he's going to have minus 1,000 power to all of his characters next turn, and only 2 Dawn. Only 2 Dawn, that's brutal. Okay, so 7 into Raise You, I like that. Or 9, excuse me, that's a 7K character. 7 into this Raise You. So probably 8 and 8 would have been a little safer in this situation, but it probably doesn't matter too much. Locking down the 2 targets from last time, and this is looking good. This is looking pretty good. Like, I actually like where we're at right now. I think this is actually very recoverable from where we were. And it all comes from the play mistake of the red-purple Law player going down to 0 Dawn. That should not be the play unless it's literally the action that wins you the game. You know what I mean? Okay, so they're going to swing for 5. Now, we have a 5K blocker. Let's make sure we're... Okay, he's definitely going to use that on Queen here, right? Okay. That scared me. Okay, that scared me a little bit. I was going to say, we definitely want to use our blockers. Play out that guy. Now we're talking. That 7 cost Foxy is going to just lock down the rest of this game. That is perfect. Now, all of this guy's characters are minus 2,000 power when attacking. That card is the strength of Foxy. That is, it's the Foxy card. I guess it's, you know, literally intended to be that way, but it's absolutely meant to be like that. Okay, pass turn. Yep. And now, next turn. Honestly, next turn, you're kind of, well, I would say you're threatening lethal, but it's not quite the same because they do have a full grip of hands. But technically speaking, you are threatening lethal next turn because you have 4 attacks into 3 life. Okay, so they go ahead and play out 2 of these cost reducers. I would love to see what's in the opponent's hand. I would really love to see what's in their hand. It's too bad we can't see it. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, I mean, in this situation, I think you just keep doing what you're doing. Okay, play out the Magellan. That's fine. The Porsche would have been nice too. But actually, you know what? I like the Magellan in this situation because this guy's been struggling with Dawn the entire game. Hey, we can still play out the Porsche if we need to. Okay. Just got to make sure we have enough Foxy Pirates to do the leader's effect. And right here, I'm just going face. I don't know if she... Okay, good. I was going to say, I would not go for Shariah. I don't think there's any point because you're going to keep this in the leader locked down the entire time. Okay, yeah, keep going. Attack, attack, attack. We still have a blocker and everything. If they do try to swing and overcommit into Foxy, we'll be completely fine. Dawn -3, lock down the leader and that character. Now use both Foxies to gain a Dawn. Excellent. Okay, well now we're in a position now to win the game next turn. And again, I want to see what is in the red-purple Law's hands so bad right now. Because why were they not mitigating their loss of Dawn with all these other effects? Okay, so they're going to go ahead and remove the Queen, play out the Kid and Killer, and go for game, and you had a 2K counter. GG. Yeah, that... Okay, that is how strong those Foxies can be. And one thing I will say is I hope in the future they continue this power reduction theme. We're starting to see it in red now with the new... spoiler. I don't want to give any spoilers out. Red is starting to experiment with that as well. But I feel like that should have been a purple thing with the power reduction. But who knows? Maybe red and purple both share that, and that's why red-purple leader does what it does. Either way, really good game there. Khan, like I said, that's someone I do know. They do want me to plug their channel. I will link his channel in the comment section below for anyone interested in checking him out. He's a real character, guys. He's a lot of fun to, to watch. Okay, so let me go ahead and put up the black screen here, and we'll go over to the other stuff. Oh, actually, excuse me. There's one more thing I wanted to show. I can move my head over for this part. Is he did show the actual deck list. So for anyone who is interested in the deck list, let me move this. Hang on one second, guys. There we go. Anyone who is interested in the deck list, here it is. Screenshot it, pause it, write it down, whatever. This is the full deck list. Really cool stuff here. And this is really nice, guys. In the future, if anyone wants to submit a video, it would be nice if you did this at the beginning of the video so that way we all know, like, okay, cool, here's what he's running. Or at the end of the video, just tell me whenever you submit it. Good stuff there. Really good game. That was a fun one to review. Okay, now... Let me go ahead and actually pop out of here, and we can go over to the meta. Now, we got to talk about some nerdy stuff real quick. We got to talk about the meta. I know, very boring for some people, but not for others. And don't worry, we're not going to go through every one of these lists. We're not going to do that. I'm just trying to show real quick before we go over to Limitless TCG. Check this out, guys. In OP-07 in the West, like where we are here in the West, already, remember, this leader just came out. Remember, guys, it just came out basically, you know, what was it, June 28th? And already, starting June 29th, it's starting to put out some results. So look at this, guys. It's already gotten some top 16s. It hasn't got anything first place yet at the big tournaments, but I think that's just a matter of time before it does. And then let's look over at OP-08. This is in the East. Look at this, guys. Now, this has been out for a little bit longer, but 40 entries out of 228. This is probably the second best deck in OP-08 currently, and it's actually kind of tied with Red Purple Law. They kind of go back and forth. If you look at the big tournaments, look at this. First place at a 1,400 player tournament. Second place was Law. First place at a 500 player tournament. Second place was Law. So, you know, there's some really good stuff going on here. This is a very solid list. Now, one more thing I want to show as well is just, you know, the deck list for OP-07 in the East. We did the OP-07 in the West, OP-08 in the East, now OP-07 in the East. And I just want to show, where is it? Lucci. Check this out, guys. It had a ton of stuff going on. 45 entries out of 330. Very well represented. This is a great leader to start off with. Now, the average list for the West looks like this. It ranges anywhere from like 220 to 260 currently, US dollars. But we're going to fix that with you know, today's budget. With today's budget video. Let me read through all the cards real quick, and then we'll talk about it. So it runs 4 Spandam, 3 Surus, 2 Helmeppos, 2 Spandines, 2 Brooks, 4 Khalifas, 4 Rebecca, 4 Rob Lucci, the 4 cost, 3 Kaku, the 2K counter, 3 Kaku, that pops the 3 or less, 3 Sabos, 4 Gecko Moria, 2 Isho, 2 of the 8 cost Sabo, and then 1 Stussy. And this is the list right here. Oh, excuse me. And on the side here, 4 Tempest Kicks and 3 Ennies Lobbies. Now, this is the 6th place Latin American TCG Online Regional. Okay, this is that list. So, and that was just the most recent one. Well, here's a 4th place list from the day before from Melbourne. We'll look at this one. This one's about 235. It's roughly the same. It had 1 less Suru. I'll just read through it real quick. 4 Spandam, 2 Suru, 2 Helmeppo, 2 Spandine, 2 Brook, the 3 cost Brook, 4 Khalifa, 4 Lucci, 3 Rebecca, 3 Kaku, the 2K counter, 1 Borsellino, 3 Sabo, 2 Kaku, that pops a 3 or less, 2 of the 6 cost Brook. We'll talk about this in a minute. 4 Gecko Moria, 2 Isho, 1 Stussy, 4 Ennies Lobbies, 4 Tempest Kick, and 1 6 King Pistol. So, guys, this one is a little bit cheaper. This one is a tiny bit cheaper than the other, because the other one was like $250. This one's, you know, $230. And here's what's making it so expensive. Brook right now is about $15 a card. This is an SR from EB01. Borsellino is $15 a card. Even Rebecca is about $4 a card, but we do, or about probably like $3.50 to $4. But this is one I don't think we can get around. We are going to have to you know, bite the bullet on this one, so to speak, but it's not too expensive. Sabo is extremely expensive right now. It's almost $20 a card. And then Gecko Moria is also almost $20 a card. So those are the big ones there. It's Gecko Moria, Sabo, Borsellino, and Brook. Rebecca's not too bad. $4 for a card's not the worst thing in the world. It is still budget friendly, especially if you only need so many of them. Now, let me show you guys my list. This is what we're going to be playing with today. This is what I cooked up, what we're going to be playing with today on the sim. Under $100. This one's under $80, right? And this one is running. Let me click this over there, and we'll bring up, let me just bring up Gecko just so it shows up over here. The list we're looking at today is running 4 Luccis, 4 Spandam, 3 Finger Pistol. Let me bring this up. Y'all can read it on the side if you want to. 3 Ennies Lobbies, 4 Kaku that pops a 3 or less. Guys, since we don't have Gecko Moria, it's just too expensive, right? Hey, if you have Gecko Morias, add them to the list. I'll talk about that in a minute. But since we don't have Gecko Moria in the budget version, you're going to have other ways to KO characters and keep control throughout the game, as opposed to like regaining it late game by dropping a Gecko Moria. So this card is very, very important for what we're doing, and it's like $5 a card, just like Rebecca is. Okay. Then we have 4 of the 2K counter Kaku. This one's not expensive at all. 4 Khalifa, 2 Spandine, 4 Rebecca. Like I said, we're really going to need that card. 4 Tempest Kicks, 2 Surus, 3 Stussies, because this card is extremely cheap and it's extremely powerful. 2 Isho, this one's almost $4 a card. 2 6 King pistol, 3 Brook, and 2 Hina's. Hina's dropped way down in price since the Sakazuki days. Brook is extremely important for what we're doing because, how do I say this? It doubles over in a few different ways. Number one, against Nami, this card is making them trash 3 more cards, right? Like, every time you play this card, there's 3 more cards they have to go through to win the game. That's the first thing. The second thing is this trashes characters. So maybe that should have been the first thing, but y'all get my point. It can trash a character, which means it's not KOing the character. It's just taking a character and placing it in the trash. So if you're going against a mirror match and they drop Sabo, if you just attack for 6 with your leader to get past the Sabo, or even just swing for 5, whatever, and then play out this character, you can trash the Sabo now. Like, you know, -1 from the leader attack, and then play this out, trashing a 4 or less. It's just extremely powerful. I will say it's probably worth going up a 4th Innie's Lobby in the budget version. Like, you could probably drop down 1 Rebecca and go up 1 Innie's Lobby, and then that would make the list even cheaper, and, you know, you could go from there. Or the other option is, if you want to keep the Rebecca, you can go down 1 Kaku, the 5 cost. And it will just make the deck even cheaper, and I don't think it will hurt it that much. I really don't think it'll be too bad. But the reason I was running 3 is we're not running Sabo, right? So that's why I was running 3 Innie's Lobbies instead, because we aren't running Sabo, guys. So if you have to, like, if you're in need of a cycle, it's not coming, right? The only thing that we have that's like pseudo cycle are these 6 King pistols. This will allow you to trash a card from hand to turn into a 3K counter. So maybe there is an argument to actually go up these 6 King pistols, but we'll have to see. We'll have to figure it out along the way. Of course, I'm always open to revisions to these budget lists, guys. I'm just trying to put something out there for the newer players to mess with, or someone coming in from a different color who just wants to mess with a budget version and see how it feels. So, guys, that's about it. This is an easy deck to upgrade as well. The first upgrade you need to zone in on is this card. Notice it's $18 a card. So, hey, if you have one, just add it right to the list. And if you were to add it to the list, I would take out 1 Stussy. In fact, I would basically just start taking out cards like Stussy, Kaku, and Finger Pistol. Like, take them down like 1 at a time across the board. Like, take down 1 Stussy if you got 1 Gecko. When you get the next Gecko, take out maybe one Kaku. And then when you get the next Gecko, take out 1 Finger Pistol. And then when you get your final one, maybe take out another Stussy. You see what I'm saying? Like, kind of start balancing it in that way. Then, as you move on to once you get all your Geckos, or if you choose to get Geckos, the next best option is Brook. And I'm talking about the 3-cost Brook. This one right here. Let me bring it up over here. $15 a card right now. Or say you popped one open in a pack. Perfect. Go ahead and throw it in. The way that I would say to do this one is I would say the best card to take out for this one is maybe 1 Lucci. I run 3 Luccis in my main list, guys. Like the non budget version, I just run 3 Luccis. A lot of people do run 4, and I don't fault them for that. I just personally like running 3. The other option, though, so let me just say the flex spots. You can definitely go down 1 Rebecca. You can go down as many Finger Pistols as you want to. This is a preference thing. It's more of a budget thing. Kaku can go down to probably a 2 of. That's as low as I'd go with that. And Stussy, all of them can go as you get better and better cards. So that's 3. Let's just say 3 of these cards, 2 of Kaku's, that's 5. 3 of these puts us at 8. 1 Rebecca and 1 Lucci. So that's like 10 flex spots, I would say, and maybe even 1 Brook. So there's about 11 flex spots in the deck, if not 12 if you count in a 6 King pistol. But I think this is just a good card, period, and more people are starting to transition over to this card because it's a 0-cost 7K. It turns your Innie's Lobbies into a counter. You know what I mean? This card's actually just very good, and it's searchable by Spandam. It's a great fixer. It's a great fixer. So, yeah, that's that. What else? So, there's Gecko, Brook, and there was one other one. Just so I don't take forever, let me look real quick. Sabo. How could I forget Sabo? Sabo is the last one. This one, maybe it's not the last one, technically. Like, maybe you want to get this one before you get your Brooks, but this one's also $19. Like, this card has jumped up in price because I don't think they're showing. I don't think this card will be reprinted in PRB01. I could be wrong. But I do not think they've clarified whether or not this card will be reprinted in PRB01. So this card, where you see it, is probably where it'll be at for a little bit, guys. And I know this is a hard one to stomach. But luckily with this card, I think you only need 2. Some people say you need 4. I know it's a good card, but guys, the most I ever run of this card in any of my decks is 2. That's just me personally. And this card, like I said, so hear me out. There are about 10 cards. No, excuse me. There's about 9 to 10 cards you want to put in this deck. And it is 4 Gecko Morias, 2 Sabos, and then 3 to 4 Brooks. And those cards, I would fix around this whole idea of Stussy, Kaku, Finger Pistol, Lucci, and Rebecca. And then also, like I said, maybe down 1 6 King Pistol, maybe down 1 Brook. There's a lot of things you can move around. And if you have any questions, guys, just hop in the Discord and ask on there. Okay, that's about it. Sorry, guys, my nose is running today or something. Let's see. So that's about it. This is the list, guys. So let's go ahead and hop into the sim and see how things go. I'll tell you guys what I think about it. This is another one, guys. I think I said it in yesterday's video, how Red Purple Law, it felt like I was not running a budget list. It felt the exact same for this one, guys. This list just feels so good. Okay, we are volume off. We're on 2x speed, I believe. Yep, and we're good to go. Play. Okay, this first game's more of a troll game. Don't worry. That's why I had to do 4 games for today, because this one I just had to show off because it was a good time. So my opponent here gets to go first. They're playing Crocodile. I'm on Lucci. They play out Sengoku, do a top 5 search, looking for a 7 Warlords. They get Edward Weevil. I play out the stage. Your turn. Right here, they use Assange's pull off and swing for 5. So I go ahead. I think I take this one. Yeah, I take this one. Finger Pistol. I'm not going to use that on a Sengoku. It's not happening. Not when I have a Lucci already in hand. Okay, let's see what happens. So I play out the Spandam. That's going to put cards into my trash. And it led me... what did it let me get? What did I get from that? I'm sorry, guys. Hang on. We got to go back. Oh, gosh. I went way too far back. Don't worry. This is a very short game. So I play out the Spandam. And what did it give me? Oh, the Tempest Kick. Sorry, guys. It gave me the Tempest Kick. And then I used the Tempest Kick to fill up my trash to draw the Lucci. I was like, where did that Lucci come from? Okay, so let's go ahead and swing for 7. -1 there. I'm just trying to fill up my trash here. And they're probably going to take this. A 7K early on, most people take. But sometimes they counter out of, especially blue decks, they'll actually counter out like they did right there. Because they have ways to get stuff back from the trash a lot of times. With Jinbei going into Gecko and things like that. Okay. So swinging for 6 here into 5. I kind of want to counter out of this and fill up my trash. Notice I'm at 6 cards in trash. Okay. This play right here makes my opponent leave the game. Are you ready for this, guys? This play right here. I have 6 cards in trash. I'm going to go... Next turn when I swing, I'll have 8 cards in trash. I have a Tempest Kick in my hand to put me at 9 cards in trash after that. So what I need is 1 more card in my trash. Well, I did a 7K. I got to 7K to get to 6 here to get out of his 6 attack. Watch this, guys. I'm going to counter out another 2K. So now I can do what I did. So watch. He's like, wait, what? And then I think it's going to click for him right here, guys. I'm going to swing for 6. Yeah, I'm just doing some math, making sure I can do everything I wanted. Swing for 6, fill up my trash 2, -1 to your guy. I will do -2 to either one of them. It doesn't matter because I'm going to get the rest the other way. And then play out the Tempest Kick. Now it actually worked because I had exactly 10 cards in trash from the Tempest Kick activation. Like, in other words, I had 9 cards in my trash. I played out Tempest Kick. It was my 10th card that goes to trash, which is how you play the event out. It goes to trash. Then it checks for the number. Got to draw a card from it. I drew a card from it, and I got the -3 from it. Now I play out the Lucci, and I'm going to pop both his characters. And this guy pretty much leaves the game over that, guys. Like I said, I had to at least include this. Like, all right, your turn. And that turn, that play right there, look, it's like, I guess it just calls him to short circuit and just leave the game. That game, there was still a lot left of that one, but don't worry, guys. I had to include that just because it was a funny one, and it was an interesting interaction that I think might help newer players. If you're going to play this list, guys, Rob Lucci, always keep track of what is in your trash. How many CP cards are in your trash? Because that does matter for a card like Kaku, the 5-cost Kaku. How many cards in your trash, period, because you have to return 3 to play out Lucci. If you have 10 or more cards in your trash, you draw a card and do -3 from Tempest Kick. There's a lot of interactions going on there. You have to pay attention to all of it. Okay, next up. That was just a fun one there. Don't worry. These next ones are actual full games. Excuse me. Okay, volume is off. Speed is on 2x, and we are good to go here. Okay, so this one's against King. I'm just waiting for him to start. Now, sometimes people take a little bit of a while to get started. They're choosing their opening hand. It's like, okay, do I want to keep this? Do I not? You know, it took him a minute, but now we're ready to go. He went first. Just pass me the turn. My turn. I get stage. Always mulligan for stage, guys. I'm just saying, especially in the budget version, mulligan for your stage. If you don't get it, oh well, you don't get it. You know what I mean? Maybe keep a span damn hand. That might be up to you depending on your opponent. But I would always try to mulligan for the stage. And here we go, guys. Like, okay, notice the curve. Pause. Sorry, he's doing draw 2, trash 2 from Sabo's effect right now. Notice my curve. I just played out a Rob Lucci. Like, nothing else with it. Like, I didn't remove any characters, right? Let me just make sure, and we'll come back. Yeah, I just straight up played out a Rob Lucci. Like for 0 value. I just played out a 4-call 6K. Like, it's a vanilla character, because it's not a counter in hand. And then watch this. He's doing the draw 2, trash 2 from his Sabo. He's going to swing for 5. I'll take it. That's fine. I could have countered out of that, but I got a little bit greedy there. -2. So you saw what I did right there, guys? 4, 6 curve. Listen to this curve, guys. On turn 1, play out Annie's Lobby. Turn 2, play out Rob Lucci. Turn 3, play out Brooke. Turn 4, there's a card in my hand for 8. You guys see what's going on here. This is an absolutely, like, pristine... This is an ideal pull. Okay? This is like a perfect curve Lucci right here. 6 and a 7, I'm not letting you have my characters that free. Like, oh, okay. Well, let's see what happens here. I have to do this just right. I swing for 5. He thinks I'm going to swing into his guy, and he's right. I was going to say, he thinks... I thought I was going to swing at face here, but I think I do. I think he takes this, and I swing 6 at face. Okay, I'm sorry, that does happen. So I was going to just eat his hand up that way and still just drop the E-show. I'm like, all right, let me swing one more time. Get 2 cards out of his hand. Look at the 2 cards that I got out of his hand, guys. That is a Ragnarok and a Gecko Moria. That is brutal, and now look at my board. But it's not over for him. This King deck is actually very solid. He's going to bounce a card back to the top of my life, probably my Brooke. I think Brooke's probably the better target, yeah, for sure. And then swing 5 at face. I actually take this since I just gained a life anyway. It's like, why not? Now, there's no, like, okay, when you have Isho on the board, there is no card that's going to survive. You know what I mean? There's just no way. Okay, I got punished there for not doing things in the proper sequencing. I talk about that all the time, right, guys? That right there was where's my chess terms? Where's the chess meter? That was a mistake. That was an absolute mistake, and maybe even consider, you know, you could probably consider it a straight-up blunder for not swinging for 4 first with my Lucci. But, oh well, it is what it is. Okay, now, let's keep going. I'm going to swing for 10 here. He's got -3, -2 more. Okay, whatever. He's at 3. I can easily just trash it with this Brooke. And that's what we're going to do. Always make sure you click the correct option if you're playing on the sim. Sometimes it messes up. Now, right here, I played out the Suru. I was prepping to play around, or to play out the Stussy and pop his character. But watch this turn, guys. This guy gets me pretty good right here. This is, like I said, this game's not over. Okay, Purple Black King does have some things it can do. And I am playing a budget version, right? He plays out a Kamazo Manslayer card, okay, then plays out Ikaku Sovereignty and pops my entire board, like the whole board. It was like, okay, well, that's not good. But, okay, he's still not a great spot, obviously. So right here, I'm going to play out the Lucci, popping his Kamazu, and then I'm going to play out a Hina. I'm just trying to get as many cards on the board as I can, so that way I can for sure sneak in lethal next turn. Okay. He's going to play out the Kamazu. He had no 2-cost card to get back with that effect. Okay. Oh, well. Swing 5. Okay. And he actually didn't have any counters left. It was going to be swing 5, swing 15. GG. So that was a fun one there, guys. That was a fun one. King's getting a little bit better, but I think this guy was a little too top-heavy, judging by what's in his hand. And I also think that Kuzad's a little bit greedy. A little bit greedy there, but who knows. All right. Now we got a game against Nami. This was a nail-biter. Spoiler warning. This one's a real nail-biter because... Like I said, guys, I don't have... This is a budget list, so I don't have Gecko Moria to, like, fall back on, trash a bunch of cards early with whatever my effects are, and then, like, throw a bunch into play on one turn. Okay, why does this thing keep moving? Sorry, guys, we got to mess with the mouse cord here. There we go. Hopefully that goes away now, or it just never will. There we go. Okay. Now, sorry about that, guys. Just missed the whole entire first part because my mouse cord was messing up. So we're going to pop both these characters with Lucci. I'm going to swing for 6, -1 to that card. He actually doesn't block with it, which is kind of surprising, and takes the life. I think he should have blocked with it. I mean, he knows I'm running Lucci. I'm going to pop a card every turn. Okay, so right here, it's like, okay, well, I'm just going to keep swinging at you. I'm going to -1 to your Marguerite. He's very... It was very interesting he didn't use it there, because he knows I have cards to pop this. I'm just going to return all these back, whatever. Return everything but a Brook, right? Because Brook is very important for this matchup. Okay, Brook can return 3 cards from the trash to the bottom of the owner's deck. So that card is actually very, very strong. This guy got every single Margaret, and he also got these Gloriosas. I was very scared of this game. This was a real nail-biter for me, personally. Okay, so let's see what happens here. So I've got the Brook down, and I've decided, you know what? I'm not going to trash the character. I chose for him to return 3 cards to his deck. So we're just waiting on him to choose the cards. That's what we're waiting on right now. He only has 4 Dawn left, which is more than enough, but I'm actually going to just swing in here. This might have been a little bit sloppy play, to be honest with you. I think I should have just not. But his hand size was so low, I was like, you know what, this is probably fine, where you can't capitalize too much in one turn. And when he took that and not blocked, I was like, whoa, okay, swing 7, get the blocker. He saw all 4 of these cards. He saw his Saji's Pilafs. Guys, I was in deep trouble this game. I'm just going to be honest. Now, right here, what I actually need right here is another Brook. Like, I want to start putting cards back at the bottom of his deck. Okay, swing for 6, -1 to the blocker. Let's see if he calls me on it. He never does, man. It's like right here. I don't remember what I do, but I could very easily... Yeah, I think I should just do that. Yeah, play out the Stussy there. And now we're going to swing 6s. He's got no cards in hand, but he's also getting very thin on deck size. All right, pass turn. And let's see. He's got 17 cards left in his deck here. Swing for 6 into 8. I'm just going to 2K, get out of it. And I get a Rebecca. That was very nice, I have to say. Getting this Rebecca here was really, really nice. So watch here. I'm actually going to swing for 5 first. I think that's the right call, unless I wait for next turn. I might wait for next turn. Swing 5. He has all of his Dawn on, like, active. So I'm going to do all my swinging first. Swing 6. Okay, he goes up there. I accidentally swing 6 there. That was just a mistake, but he countered out anyway. Swing 9. And then, okay, and now I'm going to play out the Rebecca, getting back the Brook. Play out the Brook. Return 3 cards back to your deck. So I've had him return 6 cards back to his deck this game from those Brooks. Brook is a very strong filler card, especially for the budget stuff, but it's so good, it's not just used in budget. The card is used even in, whatchamacallit. The card is even used in the standard version. Some people choose to run the Nightmare Luffy. I'll try to remember to talk about that when we get to the end of the video. Now, right here, I swing for a 9. Excuse me. I swung for 9 here, and I was actually planning on just passing turn and going next turn if it went through. And then look what happens, though. He bounces this guy back, and I'm like, you know, okay, let's just keep going then. I got greedy. I think the right play here was just to play out the Lucci. Just go from there. You know, just pass turn and go back. Loving. Now they're going to draw cards like crazy. They're down to 12. Swing for 7. I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm just going all in. Sometimes that happens, right? You just like go, you just double down sometimes. It is what it is. Okay, he just has everything he needs right here to keep drawing cards. This was a very close game, guys. Swing for 7. Okay, thank goodness, no trigger. Return this guy, pop that, your turn. He has 9 cards in his deck, 6 cards. So the game would be over right now if it were not for those Brooks. Like, you guys see what I'm saying? The game would actually already be over if I had not returned 6 cards to his deck from the Brook. And this guy's pool was insane, by the way. And I'm like, all right, here we go, swing 19. You got it or you don't. 4, 3, 2, 1 Dawn left. GG. What a nail biter. He was down to 2 cards left in his deck, and he drew so many of those Margarets, man. That was crazy. Okay, that was really fun. Good game there. And then we got one more, I think. Let me see. Yeah, we got one more. We're going to go against Lucci. Against Red Purple Law. This was easily the best game. I'm glad we saved this one for last. I just like record them in order, and then you know, we just go over them in order. This was easily the best game. This was a fun one, if I remember correctly. So, Red Purple Law. This is a legitimate, just straight up RP Law deck. Okay? Let's see what happens. I'm going first. I didn't get the stage, but I at least got Spandam, which is better than nothing. So, I'm going to swing 5 and swing 5. I know that the longer this game goes on, my opponent will start to outvalue me more and more, because he has all the cards he needs, whereas I don't have my Gecko Morias. Now, if I had Gecko Morias, I probably wouldn't be as aggressive. I would be more about setting up for the late game. But because this is a budget deck, sometimes you have to cater your play style ever so slightly against certain decks. So swing 5 here. Now I have 4 Dawn. I can't decide if I want to swing for 6 here or if I want to just drop down the the Rebecca, and I just dropped down Rebecca. Another decent play there I think would have been draw 2 trash 2 with the Khalifa. But okay, swings there. I'm like, okay, I'm going to cash it on this Rebecca right now because that's just ideal, right? That's just a good spot for it. Because otherwise he was going to bottom deck and I get no value from it very, very easily. Sorry, guys. My nose is bothering me so much today, guys. I don't know if it's like the pollen rising up because we just had a ton of rain here in Florida. Pause. Got to tell y'all a quick little side story. We've been having so much rain here in Florida. The pollen is just like lifting up from it because the humidity. It's a real deadly combo. Okay, so -1 to the, what's her name there, and I pop it to the Missile Sunday, and I popped it with a finger pistol, I believe. Is that what I did? I'm sorry, guys. We do have to go back real quick. Yeah, I have 2 finger pistols. So I pop it with a finger pistol, fill up my trash with 2 more cards, and let's see what happens here. I'm assuming they're about to bottom deck my guy here, because they have 9 Dawn. Like, my opponent has 9 Dawn as Red Purple Law. This does not look good for me. Okay. So I'm just waiting on my opponent's turn here. They have 4 Dawn left for the turn. I have 4 life. I have 1 character on the board. They're probably going to swing like, 5 at life, play out a 4 cost. Okay, they established a... That was a little bit greedy, I'm not going to lie. But it might pay off for them since I already used 2 Luccis. Or did I? Excuse me, I'm thinking of the other game where I had 2 Luccis. Well, there's one. So never mind, excuse me. I don't think I used any Luccis this game. I could be wrong. I can't remember now. The little story time threw me off. Right here, though, I want to get rid of that card. I want to play out the Kaku. I want to pop the Shariah, and I'm just going to swing for 5 at face here. If he wants to bottom deck my Kaku with that max raise, or raise max, I'm not really too worried about that, right? Like yeah, that's that sucks, but it's not too big of a deal. Cheats out the Sanji, swings 7 at face. It's like, okay, I'm going to take that. Unfortunately, that thing only hits a 3 or less on the trigger. The Tempest Kick only hits a 3 or less on the trigger. That would be nice if you could hit more than that. Okay, and I get the stage here. A little late. Better late than never, I guess. But I go ahead and do -3 here. I've got my guy in hand, my Lucci in hand, so I can do some stuff here. I'm trying to do this just right. I'm like, all right, how do I do this? All right, let me swing for this. Or excuse me. Let me do -3 to the Reiju. Swing 8 at life, doing -1 to the Eustace Kid. He probably should have sacked his Eustace Kid there because I was going to get it no matter what with this Lucci. But he might not. He might have been saying, like trying to call a bluff or something. Who knows? Swing for 7 into 5. Okay, I do a 0-cost 3K counter. That card is so nice, guys. That card is so nice. I have to take that one, and I got another counter. I was like, oh, this game's not over yet. This game's not over yet. Swing for 9. Okay, I take it. Now, here we go. They play out a Shariah. This does not look good, right, guys? Like, this does not look good at all. But it's not over yet. It's not over yet. Let's see what happens here. I'm going to do -3 to one of these guys. I think about going against the Sanji, but it's like, well, wait a minute. I don't think I have enough, power reduction or cost reduction. So I play out the Rebecca. Watch this, guy. Guys, this is crazy right here. Play out the Spandine. Spandine plays out the Lucci. I have to return three cards to play out the Spandine to do his effect. To play out the Lucci. Lucci has to return 3 cards for his effect. Pop those 2 characters. And now I have a card where I can sit back on, and so I swing 10 into the Sanji. Now, you ready for this, guys? They hard cast the Kid and Killer, which was a good play. Bottom decking my my Rebecca, and now they have 4 Dawn left. They play that card out to ramp another Dawn. They have 5 Dawn now. Swing for 5. Okay, 1K counter out. That's going to cost me a card. And now they're going to swing for 12. They're thinking, okay, I've got this game in the bag. Look at this, guys. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Get to 13. That's game. And watch this. It's never over till it's over. He has 2 cards in hand. Make sure you swing for the correct amount. I swing 9 into 5. And watch what he has in his hand at the end of this game, guys. 9 into 5, and then it's going to be 12, right? 12. Okay, look what he had in his hand, guys. Triple 2K counter. That was a fun game. That was a good one. My opponent played very well. They got straight to 10 Dawn. They probably could have been a little more aggressive, especially seeing that they were sitting on 2 Shashian Penguins. Maybe they should have been a little more aggressive earlier in the game, but I don't know when they drew those cards either, so there's no telling. But good game to my opponent there. That was a fun one. That was a nail biter. All right. So just to show, though, guys, like these budget lists, like, yeah, you are playing with a slight, like, disadvantage, but at the same time, if you play right, the deck will reward you. Like, it does still reward skill play, is, I guess, like, the main thing I want to stress. All right, let's go ahead and go over the deck list real quick. Let me drop my face way down to here. Okay. This is the list, guys. I moved the leader should be in here. Not this guy. Wait, it's the new Lucci, guys. There's an OP0. Hey, for the new players, there's an OP-03 Lucci. He is not the same Lucci. This is a very different Lucci. I don't recommend running this with this version, but there is probably a version where this leader's decent, guys, just to give you guys a heads up. But this is the leader we're talking about. But I removed this so that it all fits on 2 lines just for this presentation here. I will link this, of course, in the comment section below for anyone who wants to try it out on the sim before they, try it in real life. But, guys, this is a really solid list. And here's the thing. In my last video for Red Purple Law, someone said that you shouldn't, they were saying don't buy these cards because Red Purple Law will be banned soon. Well, guys, the cards that make these decks good, like the leaders are kind of what makes a deck broken a lot of times, or the cards that are super expensive, right? The cards like Sabo, Gecko, and Brook, the 3-cost Brook that we were looking at. Let's bring him up right here. These cards are extremely expensive, and I'm already telling you not to get those. I'm only telling you to get the extremely cheap cards that are already what a lot of people would consider like staples within the color pool of whatever color it is. Like Isho is just a good card to have as a 2 of in any black deck. Kaku is just a good removal card. Stussy's a good removal card. Subaru's a great 2K counter. Spanam's just a searcher if you ever plan on playing CP. Rob Lucci, just a great removal. Brook. All these are just very solid staple cards for what they are. And the same thing was true with the red purple deck. I just want to show this real quick because the guy, I don't think the guy meant anything by it, but he's saying, okay, what was said was, don't buy this because red purple is getting banned soon. Number one, we don't know that. Number one, we don't know if red purple is getting banned. It might. We have no idea. However, let's just say red purple law gets banned tomorrow. Okay, the leader's gone. Well, these are the cards that I asked everybody to buy. Kid and Killer's just a good card. Otama's just a good card. Zoro, Shiraya, it just goes down the list. Raise Max is whatever, but that's like a 10-cent card, right? Beppo, these cards are all just good cards in any purple deck. It's just red purple law uses all of them in, together, like in conjunction with each other. Now, anyway, sorry, I just had to do a quick aside there, guys, because they brought up a good point. Like, why would I recommend you guys cards that are, like, if a leader's about to be removed? Well, if the leader's removed, you're still going to be left with a core group of cards like what you see on the screen right here and like what we saw on the red-purple screen. These are still very good cards you can use in any deck that shares the colors. So I would still recommend trying them, even if a leader does get banned, Okay. But that's about it, guys. Like I said, the cards you want to look out for are, of course, like to upgrade this list is Brook. This card is still fine for the time being. Oh, I'm glad we looked at that, though, because the other card that we were talking about was this Luffy one. Some people run Luffy over Brook. I think Brook is ever so slightly better, especially if you're running the zero-cost event. Because then you actually can turn it into a counter later in the game if you need to. Okay, this Luffy does have a 1K counter, and this card also has like a hidden tech against Enel. If there's a 7-cost Enel down, let me show you something real quick, guys. This came up last Friday, actually, at my locals. If this character were to be removed from the field, you may trash the top card of your life instead. If the character Monkey D. Luffy is on the field, this effect may not be activated. So if there is a character named Monkey D. Luffy on the field and named that, okay, right? So we're talking about the actual name of the character. Let me bring it back up. And guess what? That is, of course, this character's name. That effect can't be activated. So if you drop this down and pop him with a finger pistol or something, or, pop, the Enel with a finger pistol, then all of a sudden, there's like a little tech there. However, like you guys saw in my games today, Brook is a really strong tech card against Nami, which is a very annoying matchup for a lot of people. So just really good stuff there, guys. Really cool stuff. But I will say it comes down to your preference. These cards are both about the exact same in price. You can either run Luffy or you can run Brook. If you're running the 6 King pistols, I think Brook is just the better call personally. That's just me personally because it trashes cards. So any kind of Saba, like if you're playing against black and yellow Luffy, right? Black yellow Luffy is one of the harder matchups for this deck. Well, this card says, I don't really care that your Sabo can't be KO'd because I'm going to trash it. Now, yes, they can still revive it, right, with their leader effect plus the 2-cost little dudes. But the point is, it is at least some way to play around what's going on there. The other thing is this is a bigger hit. This hits a 4 versus this one only hits a 2. Now, of course, you can always reduce cost with cards like Hina. You can reduce cost with cards like Suru, with cards like Tempest Kick, and so on. The lobby. But the point is, like, the higher you start off, like, for example, with the Brook card, the easier it is to do. So, anyway, back to what we were saying. The big cards to look at for upgrading is, first of all, is Gecko. I do think this is the most important upgrade to the deck list. Now, one thing I will say, full clarity, full transparency here. I don't know if this card's going to be banned or restricted in August, because they're going to be doing or I don't know if it's big, they're going to be doing an update to the bans and restricted list in August, on August 12th. Today is July 16th, so a little under a month away. So I don't know if I would pull the trigger on this card until then, but it might not, you know, we have no idea. And I will say this, I don't think this card will be banned, but I would not be surprised if it got restricted. I'm not saying I want it to be restricted. I always have to, you know, go out of my way to be very clear when I make these points. I'm not saying one thing or another. I'm just speculating. I would not be surprised if they restricted this card, but if they banned it, I would be very, very surprised. But with all that in mind, I would wait before I bought this card if you're thinking about going all in on this deck until August 12th. Okay? And then next up, so Gecko is definitely the first major upgrade, though. Sabo, this card speaks for itself. And speaking of Sabo, there is another one I didn't include in the list because it's about $10, $10 to $15 right now at the time you're recording this. This card is very good. If you have a random one laying around, by all means throw it in the deck. It should just do nothing but benefit the deck. You know what I mean? This card is very good. But otherwise, this Sabo, I think, is a perfect 2 of in any list like this. And another people talk, one we didn't actually talk much about, but we see it quite a bit, is Borsalino. This is another very powerful card, and here's the nice part about this card. You only need 1 or 2 of them in this list. Like, most decks only run 1 or 2 Borsalinos nowadays because it's just such a strong tech card in black. It's a 4-cost 5k, it's a 4-cost 6k blocker, and it cannot be KO'd by effects on your opponent's turn. It's just so solid. Really, really good stuff there. What else? So, Brook, Sabo... Oh, well, excuse me. We did Gecko, Sabo, and now Brook. We got to come back to this. Personally, I've done it. I will link my video on Lucci in the comment section below, my most recent one on the actual fully constructed list. This is a card that I basically, I don't want to say I swear by this card. I don't like to say stuff like that. But, like, this is a card that I think is absolutely insane. Insanely strong in a good way. This is a card, if you have it, throw it in the list right away. I don't have it in here because it's a budget version. I think this card allows you to win the early and mid game along with Kaku. I think these cards are just so good in the early and mid game that they make it where, yes, Gecko Moria is still going to be strong in the late game, but it's like it's going to make it where it's that much easier to transition into the late game with cards like Isho or Stussy where you still have tempo. Because Gecko's really good at bringing tempo back, whereas like these cards are really nice when you already have tempo. Cards like Stussy, cards like Isho, if you already have the tempo, the momentum, you might be able to pop their hand and really seal the deal. Or with Stussy, you might be able to plop this down, KOing like your Suru or your Spandam, and then getting rid of their biggest character, taking momentum back and stuff. But Gecko's really incredible. The card just has insane value. But in the early game, I don't know if there's any card as important as Brook. Because if you get down the stage, think about it like this, guys. If you go turn 1 stage, like going second, and then from there on, you're popping a 4 or less just by playing a 3-cost card. You can even counter out with it early and bring it back with Rebecca. Like, there are tons of combinations with that card. It's just so good. It's just simply so good, guys. Okay, I'm done talking about that. I'm done rambling, guys. I know y'all are sick of hearing me at this point. But let's go ahead and finish off with an art critique. If I missed anything, or if you guys have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please put them in the comment section below. I'll have this deck list down there. I'll have links to my previous Lucci videos and all that good stuff down there. So let's go ahead and check out the art critique. Sorry, guys. I know this one might seem lame to some people. It's not like one of the special, full border art cards. But, guys, X.Drake has an incredible composition. Compositions are the things that draw me to these pieces. Color, of course, is a big thing as well. I like when the colors are good. Let me bust out the line tool real quick. But the thing that I really like about this piece is, okay, his name is X.Drake, right? Okay, they're definitely playing on that in this piece. So the arms are crossed, first of all. Okay, that's the first thing. Let me make all this 3D so I can mess with all of it. Okay, so first of all, the arms are crossed. What's that doing? It's making an X, right? Whoops, I didn't make that one 3D, whatever. Let's go to the next thing. He's got the X on his chest, right? These will make into a whole nother color. We'll make these green. And then after that, okay, hang on one second. I got to make the other one. So he's got the X on his chest as well, right? Make 3D. Now, he also, check this out, if you zoom back a little bit, like with your eyes, like kind of get off the X focus I did on the front here, we'll do this one with a blue, right? Where's the shape tool? Here we go. Okay, of course. If you go from here to here, you also have, let me make 3D, go blue. Look at this. So, like the way his cape goes up to this corner is going very nicely, not necessarily with the leg, like it looks like I was trying to show there. Oh, does it not let me move this? I thought I made it 3D. Oh, well, I can't really manipulate this one. But okay, I have to redraw it then. I'm sorry, guys. That was annoying. So, like, you see back here, this little flash of light with this one. Look at this. It goes straight through like this, and it's lined up with this cape. And technically, it is lined up with this knee as well. For the people who saw that, that is true as well. Okay, and then it goes the other way as well. Let's just go ahead and copy-paste this one. Copy pasta, paste it, flip it, and there we go. So, again, with the backlights and everything, whatever this little move is, it's all these X's coming together. And then even the way his eyepiece is, right? This little eyepiece he has creates an X as well. It's just fun. It's just a lot of fun to be had right here. Let me use a red. We'll just draw right on him. So notice how, like, we got the eyepiece coming down this way, and it just crosses the way it is. This guy is X, man. This is truly X.Drake. That's everything about this picture. It's so cool. When I saw this, I thought, man, we have to at least like mess around with this and look at it. And it looks like even his axe. You see the way his axe is over here? It's also, if you take his axe, the way it looks, at least in this picture, and look at it from the front, like if he pointed the axe at you, it would probably have this shape right here. And I don't actually know that. I've never watched the, I don't watch the anime or read the manga or anything. But let me show you, like right here. This is what it would look like from the top down, or from the front view if he was pointing it at you. It would make an X as well. So really cool stuff here. I love when the artist does this with the composition. And this was probably more than anything, this was a lot to do with character design. But the artist like just went all in on it and made all of these recurring themes with the X, which just adds a whole nother level of complexity to the character. Really cool stuff there. I really like this one, and because like when I saw that, I was like, that was one of the reasons. It's because of these things I was talking about that I really like this one. I'm like, man, it's so thematic. Maybe and it's subtle too. Like it's not done like in an overkill kind of way, but for the people who see it and can pick up on it, they can really appreciate it. And this is I really like this card too. Like I know I normally talk about the just the composition with this stuff, but X.Drake is a 5-cost 5K 2K counter. That is probably my favorite stat line in the entire game. It's something that I wish they had made Rayleigh into, just from like a I don't know why. It's just a stat line that I really love. But 5-cost, 5,000 power, 2K counter. It's like it's defensive, it can be offensive, and this one has the ability to Dawn -1 to make your opponent trash a card. I really do love a lot about this card. And then the composition at the bottom, like you see, he's like something going on with the light down there with the lighting. Looks really well done. Like the lighting was executed in a really good way. Like really well done there by the artist. Okay, I'm done. My mouth is like completely dried out at this point. I've been talking for way too long. Let me go ahead and make my head a little bigger there. And let's go ahead and finish off with the playmat page here. Big shout out to everybody who supported me by buying the playmat. Thank you guys so much, the VV Pirates playmat supporters. Another big shout out to all of the VV Pirates patron page supporters. Thank you guys so much for helping me out the ways you do. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who watches my channel. Whether you're liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, or just watching. Like, whatever you're doing. You know what I mean? Whatever you're doing on there, guys, I really appreciate it. It all feeds the algorithm. It all helps me out. All right, guys, I'm done. I hope you all enjoyed that. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, guys, peace.